Hi, my name is Dennis Ryan. I am a 35-year-old man that has recently gone through some interesting changes to my life. For many years, I have been complacent with my life and really just lived based on, my understanding of trying to reach certain goals and trying to, make the American dream and holding on to these secure elements that I've been trained or been taught through my life that I need to reach these levels that you're supposed to hit that we are all been told. What I want to talk about today is that everything we've been taught has been a level of an illusion. We all challenge ourselves. We look at what's going on between the people we know, and we compare ourselves to other people, and we look at, why haven't I reached here, or what have I done to get to this point, and what if I had done this, or what if I had done that. All these ideas that we think about are something that really is an illusion. We are where we're at, and it took me a long time to realize this. And in September, my life changed. My life changed, and I had a spiritual awakening that started a journey of misunderstanding between my family, misunderstanding between doctors, misunderstanding between people. And I want to tell you about that journey. Started September 23rd, ended November 23rd, and didn't end in November 23rd. That was the day that it actually started. But for 2 months, I had to go through some crazy things for me to understand what I need to do. So I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to start it out. I'm not sure exactly how this is going to go, but I'm just going to tell you from my heart, and tell you what happened to me. So I grew up in a very, very Catholic, charismatic family that loved God, hardcore, so hardcore that we were in a community of charismatic people, and this community started a, kindergarten through 12th grade school to teach their beliefs, their understandings of the Catholic faith, and what they should be teaching their children. So I went to this school, very, very small kids. I think I graduated with 16 people in my grade, 12th grade. Um, but going through that experience um, made me made me challenge my beliefs once I left that community. Um, it was a hardcore set of beliefs that made me that I was told to basically look at other people's religions and know that they were fake and they were wrong, and to spit on their Bible, their Quran, or other beliefs, Buddhism, that their version of the truth was the one truth that you needed to get to. And up until I was about 18, I fully believed in that. Fully believed in everything that my parents taught me, and believed that it was gospel and it was the only way to live. And that challenged my mind. And 18 years old, I gave up on that. And I decided that I didn't believe in it because of so many other things. I was told that the world was 6,000 years old, evolution was false, and that Noah's Ark had dinosaurs on it. And once I got out there in the real world, I experienced things, and I had a greater understanding of science and an understanding of the universe. And this challenged my mind. And through my experiences, I saw so many of the tragedies that have happened throughout our world. That great men have been raised up, and an element of God status, um, due to their understanding of the universe and their connection to God. And that connection to God, I've realized, is something that people can have. Jesus, he was one of my greatest people that I looked up to. What he went through as someone that came to earth and understood the pain and suffering of mankind. He came down to share love. And he came down to say that, hey, guys, I'm 12 years old. I'm questioning the faith, the words that are being told to me through generations of tribalism and understanding of the words that other prophets that has brought down. And I saw, and he saw that he wanted to challenge some of that. And when he came out, he went through such a struggle of 40 days of understanding and changes to his mentality. He had to fight his demons to come out and to say, guys, this is about love. Love your neighbor. Love the homeless. Love the sick, help them. And his message was about love. Do not throw the first stone. You don't have the right to throw that first stone. And this was something that 17 years ago I stopped believing in, from an element that I took the version of tribalism that was handed down to me through generations of teachings from our church. And the church is the way that it needs to happen. And the only way to God is through this way that we're telling you to go through. I can tell you that what you've been taught is wrong. What Jesus came down to show was love, and show that man can have a direct connection with God. A direct connection with God that is so divine, that's unsurpassing love. And everything God has done has been about love. And who your God is not dependent on me, what I'm saying, or what Jesus was saying. Well, I found my connection to the universe first through Gandhi, through something he had said, about hey, if a bee lands on you, you should be as happy as if it stung you, or if it didn't. And I didn't know what that meant. And it took me to be a 35-year-old man that has done everything he's been told throughout his life. Do this, get here, try to reach these goals, get a secure job, believe that that's what your future is. And I had to go through something different. And in September of 2017, something changed in me. And that thing changed me forever. I started working on an idea for a company that could change the world, could change the way we interact with things differently, change the way to share knowledge, change so many elements. And this was something that was a year-long path that started with the death of a 4-year-old child, Benjamin Clavin, a kid that was taken way too early. And at that point, when I lost this kid, my best friend's child, I knew this reinforced my idea that there is no God and there is nothing in this universe. God was, what an evil thing that this, how could you believe in a God that caused this much pain? But it was only through pain that I found a spiritual connection with the universe, spiritual connection with humanity, spiritual connection with everything around me, nature, the stars, the planets, and how everything works together in unison, in synchronicities. I'm going to tell you that story. And in September, 9 months after Benjamin was lost, I found a real purpose for my company. And I realized I could make a lot of money. I could make a lot of money. And this kind of drove me further. And then I realized I could make a lot of money. But with this money, I could shift how knowledge is shared and possibly shift how money is shared. And I thought about all the pain that people go through struggling in money, and in 5 seconds I let it go. I let it go, and I was free. I had let go of my root chakra, which I didn't realize at the time was held on to finance, and was me struggling to just survive, and it was me to try to understand this level that I was supposed to hit, targets that I'm supposed to hit. I'm comparing myself to where everyone else was, in my age. And I realized that, holy crap, I could make a lot of money, and I could make a lot of people happy. I could remove some suffering. And in those moments, I had a change in my understanding of money. I thought money. I was like, wow, that's the solution. Wait a minute, no. Money is evil. Having money is not evil, but money in itself is evil because it makes us struggle, and it makes us not able to be who we should really be and who God wants us to be. And all of a sudden, I dropped every problem in my past, every anxiety, everything that ever bothered me. I dropped. And I let it go. And I forgave anyone that ever harmed me. People that caused me pain for years and years and years. I let it go. And I realized, why would you ever want to hold on to this? And this was something that I grasped and I held it onto in my heart. And for the next 7 days, I held on to it. I didn't know what it was, but I knew it was a fire burning inside of me. A fire that I didn't want to let go of. So I kept it burning. I kept it burning in my passion, and I decided I didn't want to sleep. Because I didn't know what would make me let go of this. And 7 days in, 7 days, I felt like my creation of this idea was so ready for my family. I invited them over. I wasn't ready for it because I tried to explain this, and I did some manic things to invite them over to my house at 7 in the morning, sending them some Venmo money just to get them to come over, because I knew that going forward our lives would change and my life would change, and it wasn't about me going forward. It was about the world and about humanity. Well, didn't happen quite as well as I thought it would. My family was very concerned for me, and I understand why. I was speaking fast and trying to explain, hey, guys, I see love on a new level. I experience emotions on a new level, on a way that I don't think many people can experience, but I've held on to it for 7 days. You guys don't understand it. So after I had several family members around me telling me that, dude, there's something wrong, you haven't, and I said, I know I haven't slept, I definitely need some sleep, but I need you guys to be for me. I felt they were so against me. And I didn't realize it at the time, but they were just acting out of love, acting out of their version, their understanding of love that has been passed down to them, and their understanding of their current reality. But in my current reality, all I wanted to do was show them love, and I couldn't understand why they couldn't understand me. So I went for a self-evaluation. I promised I would go in and do a quick eval to show them my mind is stronger than it's ever been. About 9 hours later, they shut the lights off on me at 1 a.m. And told me that I wasn't going to see the doctor that day. And I couldn't believe that all this love that I wanted to share brought me down to being locked in a psych ward for this time. And it wasn't until 20 hours after I was brought in there that I finally got to saw the doctor, and I was crying in the corner. After 7 days, complete bliss, living in love in every moment, I was broken. I couldn't believe I ended up back there. They opened the door, saw me crying, and shut it. And they put me in the psych ward. For the next 3 days. The next 3 days, I broke down. And I sat in self-pity. And being scared of needles, I took every needle and I held my tears in, but I cried myself to sleep for 3 days. On the third day, I was working in an art therapy class, and I was building a bracelet, and I was putting the beads on. They said, put something that means something to you. So I put the numbers 23 on, and the letters ice being my alias online that I learned, but then 23 being the number that I needed, and these other beads. And throughout that, while I was putting those beads on, I looked around at the other people, and I realized, wow, I'm being misunderstood as a 35-year-old guy that's done what I was supposed to do my whole life, but then all of a sudden experienced something else. Hey, maybe these guys are misunderstood too. And then I decided to share love again. Take it back. Take my bliss. Take my power back. I was putting these beads on, and I heard Gandhi, and I heard a message that I had heard 2 years ago. It's something that he had said about, if a bee lands on you again, that it's stinging you. So what? That's life. Take it. Experience it. You can't change it. And I realized, radically accepting my understanding of, wow, I'm here. I don't appreciate that I'm here. I shouldn't be here. But there's nothing I can do about it. And I need companionship. I felt my family had abandoned me, and I went to the lowest outcasts of our society. And I became friends with them. And asked them how they got there. And I decided that no longer would I suffer. I felt pain. I felt sorrow. But I decided that I no longer needed to suffer. The doctors came in, needles, sure, why not? I accept pain for what it is, but I decide I don't suffer. And getting out of that first psych ward after meeting these wonderful people drove me to a new understanding of what my path was driving me on. And my path was to help people. Just like I had thought before that. I want to help everyone. And I want to help as many people as I can. And I want to share my story. Now, this is the end of my first stage in my story. Thought I was on my path and ready to take the world on. I was on my path, but I wasn't ready to take the world on. I experienced the world in some amazing events in the coming next 2 months, but it would take 2 more hospitals and a broken leg, broken L2 vertebrae, and a broken wrist with surgery for me to truly find my path. And my path is now so lit in front of me that I know every move I'm supposed to take. And I keep walking my path. Because every experience that I've experienced over the last 3 months have brought me on my path, and I walk my path. I walk my truth. And my truth is how I live my reality. My reality is created by my truth. And I don't question it. I know everything I do is right for me and is right for the path that I'm on. And I look forward to continuing this story. But this is really the introduction. And this story, I want people to know, is not a story about me. This is a story of redemption. This is a story of finding a passion in your life and if you find that passion in your life that changes you as a person, you better hold on to that. Hold on to it as hard as you can, no matter how many people try to take it away or how far you are challenged in your beliefs. You need to stay on your path, because once you understand your path fully and you finally align it to a straight path, you see that path illuminated. And that path is so illuminated that you can't do anything else but walk it. And I'm walking my path now. And no one can hold me back on it. I learn from people, and I learn from interactions in every day and every person that I believe is put in front of me for a reason. Every music, every element of music I listen to, movies I watch, I believe that there's connections to humanity on a level that we don't fully understand at this point. And I believe that we are inspired by God, whoever your God and connection is to this universe, to create amazing things and to change our current understanding of reality and the universe. Challenge your minds. I believe God gave us the ability not to just accept what we see and what we've been told, but to challenge it. Challenge it. Because if you don't challenge it, your mind doesn't grow. And my mind has grown. And it's amazing, the things that I've seen over the last 3 months. And it's been fit into 3 months. 17 years of not believing in anything. 18 years of believing in what I've been told and not challenging anything. And 17 years in believing in nothing. And then 3 months, just weeks, that have challenged my mind to a new level that I want to share to other people. And I hope other people will listen to my story and understand the challenges that I went through so they don't have to make the same mistakes. And that they can find a connection to God in a new way, or their current way. But to enhance the way that they can make that connection. For I tell you that the way to God is through your mind and challenging your ego and understanding yourself and controlling yourself and controlling your ego and being able to see the amazing things God has for you. And anyone that's listening to this, challenge yourself, challenge your mind, because that's the only way that you can find the real path to God and find a real connection to the universe and find a spiritual awakening that can truly awaken your eyes to the power and the wonder of the universe. My name is Dennis Michael Ryan, and this is the start of my story. Thank you all that are listening, and thank you all that share the message that I know needs to be shared to change our world.